Keep joining. Joining. Keep joining. Can all receive 3 students? Where are the rest? Relative speed. Relative speed. Relative speed. So, good evening everyone. I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to start our lesson, and I want us to be very cooperative. Let us also ensure that we are also engaging in class so that we are in a better position to understand each and everything and each and every concept that we are learning. So, I want to start. So if there is anyone who have not yet joined, ensure you inform them to join very fast because of time. On Thursdays and Fridays, we always have our classes at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So what happens is that maybe you are not informed that today we were supposed to have our class at 5, but I understand. Unless you have some changes. If you have some changes, you can communicate it out to me. I'm willing to adjust, maybe to take it back to 7. But if you are still available on Thursday and Friday at 5 p.m., I'm more than willing to help you. So keep joining. We will continue. The rest will find us. The rest will get along with us as we proceed. So, in relative speed, we are going to be learning about. This is a situation where two bodies are in motion. Two bodies are in motion at the same time. Two bodies are in motion at the same time. Why am I using the word bodies? Because it may be vehicles, it may be human beings. So at the end of it all, it is two bodies at motion. So what we need to understand about motion is that we have got a two-way motion. We have a two-way motion. We have a motion whereby bodies move towards each other. So when we have body A and we have body B moving in opposite directions, so this one is moving in this direction and this other one is moving in this direction, or they are moving towards each other. I hope you understand. For example, when we have a two-way road, in a two-way road, we have vehicles that are moving towards this direction, and we have other vehicles moving towards this direction. This is the situation I'm talking about. So in such situations, what happens is that given the speed of body A as x kilometers per hour and the speed of body B as y kilometers per hour, for us to find the relative speed, of these bodies, we add up their speed. So the relative speed will be equal to x plus y kilometers per hour. X plus y kilometers per hour. X plus y kilometers per hour. I want you to take note of that. Take note of that so that we can do the other one. So that is when bodies are approaching each other. When bodies are approaching each other. Another scenario is whereby maybe we have a situation of a road and we have a body A, moving in this direction. Let me call it body P. And we have body Q still moving in the same direction. This is a situation whereby you see one vehicle trying to overtake another vehicle. So in such a situation, for you to get the relative speed, if the speed of this one ndio kubwa, maybe it is x kilometers per hour and this one is y kilometers per hour, ile kubwa minus ile ndogo. So maybe this one is x minus y kilometers per hour. That is how we determine the relative speed of bodies moving towards the same direction. Finding the relative speed of bodies moving towards each other or approaching each other, we add their speed. We add their speed. I hope you've understood that. So we can now have some questions related to relative speed. We have a question here. This question, one, it was assessed in KCSE. It's a KCSE assessed question, 2022 paper 1 number 8. 2022 paper 1 number 8. And the question reads, a lorry left town A for town B. A lorry left town A for town B. A lorry left town A for town B and maintained an average speed It maintained an average speed of 50 kilometers per hour. A car left town A for town B. A car left town A for town B. 42 minutes later, 42 minutes later, and maintained an average speed, and maintained an average speed of 80 kilometers per hour. At the time the car arrived, at the time the car arrived in town B, at the time the car arrived in town B, the lorry had 25 kilometers to cover to town B. Full stop. Determine the distance. Determine the distance between town A and B. 3 marks. Write down the question very quickly. A lorry left town A for town B and maintained an average speed of 50 kilometers per hour. A car left town A for town B 42 minutes later and maintained an average speed of 80 kilometers per hour. At the time the car arrived in town B, the lorry had 25 kilometers to cover to town B. Determine the distance between town A and B. Determine the distance between town A and town B. So let's do this. We are told a lorry left town A for town B. Let me fill this pen to use a different color. A lorry left town A for town B and maintained let's continue. Sorry, I wanted to use a different pen, so I was refilling this pen. Let's get back to business. A lorry left town A for town B and maintained an average speed of 50 kilometers per hour. So from town A to town B, so we have from A to B, the lorry left and maintained, so the lorry left here towards B and maintained a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. A car left town A for town B. Then the car left town A for town B, bado inatoka A inaenda B, 42 minutes later. So this was 42 minutes later, and maintained an average speed of 80 kilometers per hour. So the car maintained a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. 80 kilometers per hour. The question now reads, at the time the car arrived in B, at the time the car arrived in B, so we can talk of the arrival time of the car. At the time the car arrived at B, the lorry had 25 kilometers to cover to B. The lorry had 25. Lorry ni kama ilikuwa hapa. At the time the car was arriving, the lorry was just around there. I'm trying to explain it or to break it into something that you can be able to understand. It is 25 kilometers that were remaining for it to arrive here. 25 kilometers. Ili ifike wakati kaa inafika. So where do we start? Check here, we have a lorry moving in this direction and we have a car moving in that direction. So when two bodies, we said when two bodies are moving towards the same direction, for us to determine the relative speed, this is the relative speed of the car is 80 kilometers per hour. And this one is for the lorry, it is 50 kilometers per hour. So before anything else, we are going to find our relative speed, which is equal to 80 minus 50, which is going to be 30 kilometers per hour. It is going to be 30 kilometers per hour. 30 kilometers per hour. So, let's come here. Hili swali linasema ya kwamba, ukiangalia vizuri, unaambiwa 42 minutes later. 42 minutes later, check here. So lorry ilianza after 42 minutes ndivyo kaa imetoka. Tujiulize, how far had the lorry gone? How far, or the distance the lorry covered before the car departed. The distance covered by the lorry, distance covered by the lorry before the car started. Before the car started. The distance covered by the lorry before the car started. So tunafaa tujiulize distance yenye lorry ilikuwa imeenda for this 42 minutes. So distance is equal to speed times time. So the distance covered by the lorry before the car started is equal to, what is the speed of the lorry? The speed of the lorry is 50 multiplied by the time in hours. So time is in minutes, so it will be 42 divided by 60. So when you work that one out, what is this one will become 0 and 0 by 6 1 by 6 7. So 5 times 7 is 35 kilometers. It means that the lorry had covered 35 kilometers before the car started. Before the car started. So by the time the car was starting, the lorry had covered 35 kilometers. That is something I want you to understand. So, because we already know the distance between the car and the lorry, when they were starting, when now the lorry was starting, the distance in is 35 kilometers. The speed of the car is 80 kilometers per hour, and the speed of the lorry is 50 kilometers per hour. We have already determined the relative speed, which is 30 kilometers per hour. So tunataka tupate after how long did the two vehicles, talking of meeting, we are saying at what time the car overtake the lorry, because the only point the two bodies can meet, or the two vehicles can meet, is when the car is overtaking the lorry. So what we are going to do is we are going to take for us to get the time after how long they met or the car was overtaking the lorry. It is, how do we find time? It is distance over speed. So our distance is 35 divided by 30. 30 is our relative speed. So after how long did the vehicles meet? For the time it took the car to meet the lorry, car ifikie lorry ilichukua, what is 35 divided by 30? 35 divided by 30. 30 times 1 is 30. Then we remain with 5. So it will be 1 whole 1 over 6. So 1 whole 1 over 6 is the same as 1 hour 10 minutes. So it took 1 hour minutes for the it took 1 hour 10 minutes for the car ifikie lorry. Car ifikie lorry. Car ifikie lorry. So tuendelee, hatujamaliza. So na tunaambiwa, I hope you are understanding. At the time the car arrived in town P, the lorry had 25 kilometers to cover to town B. So tutakuja tuchukue ile 1 hour 10 minutes. So the car imecover 1 hour 10 minutes. It is the same as 1 over 6 hours. Na speed ya car inaenda na speed ya 80 kilometers per hour. So tunafaa tutafute distance ya hiyo car ilikuwa imeenda distance kiasi gani ili ifikie lorry. So ilikuwa imeenda na, how do we find the distance? It is speed times time. So our distance is equal to, what is our speed? Our speed is 80 times, our time taken is 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 7. It will be 7 over 6. So the distance it covered was, what is 80 times 7 over 6? What is 80 times 7 over 6? 80 times 7 is 560 divided by 6. What is 560 divided by 6? Six times 9 is 54. Then we remain with 2, 0. 6 times 3 is 18. So it will be recurring. So it will be 93 kilometers and a third. 93 and a third kilometers. This is the distance covered. This was the distance covered by the car before overtaking the lorry. Kumaanisha A iko hapa, B iko hapa. So car na lorry zimekaa chap hapa. Car and lorry zimekaa chap hapo. Zote mbili zimekaa chap juu kaa imefikia lorry na zote zimecover 93 and a third kilometers. Zimecover 93 and a third kilometers. Lakini ujue kaa imepita lorry. That is what it means. Kaa ishapita lorry. Kaa ishapita lorry. Turudi kwa swali letu. Mnaelewa? Are you understanding? Niambieni ama mnaelewa? Are you understanding? Niambieni hapo kwa comment section, mnaelewa? Isikuwe nilishawapoteza. Yes? Tunaelewa? Haya. Tuendelee. Haya. So we have 93 kilometers. I hope you can see that. Then we are being told that at the time the car arrived in B, at the time the car was arriving at B, the lorry had 25 kilometers to cover. So we can come here and say, let the distance AB be equal to X kilometers. Be equal to X kilometers. So let the whole of this distance from here to here be equal to X. Be equal to X. And let's continue. So when that distance is equal to X, let's continue. Haya. So if this is X, if that is X, ile ambayo iko nyuma lorry wakati ime, the distance yenye itakuwa nyuma the lorry covered itakuwa X minus 25 kilometers. X minus 25 kilometers. X minus 25 X minus 25 kilometers. X minus 25 kilometers. At the time the car arrived in B, the lorry had covered 25 kilometers. The lorry had 25 kilometers to cover to town B. To town B. So ime overtakiwa hapa. I want you to see this. The car has been overtaken at, the lorry has been overtaken at 93 and a third kilometers. So we can be able to find the time taken for the car. So the time taken for the lorry is going to be distance over speed. So the distance is going to be 93 and a third divided by, what is the time taken for the lorry? What is the time taken for the lorry? The time, what is the speed for the lorry? The speed for the lorry is 50. So what are you going to get as the time taken for the lorry? Nitafutie hiyo time taken ya lorry gani? Hey, kiri raja. What are you getting? The time taken for the lorry? What are you getting? So, $93 and a third, 93 times 3 is 9,279 plus 1 is 280 over 3 divided by 50 is the same times 1 over 50. 0 and 0. So it will be 28 divided by 15. How many hours will it have taken? It will have taken 27 divided by 15. It will be 1 because of 15. Then 7 minus 5 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So it will be 12 over 15. 12 over 15, if you multiply this by 60, it is going to be 1 hour. By 15, 1 by 15, 4. 48 minutes. So the lorry had taken 1 hour 48 minutes ili ipitwe na gari. Sasa hapo tunaambiwa, hakuna mahali tumeambiwa lorry ilisimama. Tunaambiwa ilisonga so having covered 93 and a third kilometers, towards approaching the end, there were 25 kilometers. That were in between the car arriving and the lorry had not yet arrived. So if we had 25 kilometers, we can now take 25 kilometers, the speed of the lorry is 50 kilometers per hour. The time taken is equal to the distance is equal to 25 kilometers. So can you find the time taken? The time taken will be equal to distance over speed. 25 over 50 is a half. A half of an hour is the same as 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So we will take 1 hour 48 minutes. We add 30 minutes. Once we add 30 minutes, we will get 8. This will be 4 plus 3 is 7. Then 1. Then we subtract 60 and add 1. And that will be 8, 1, 2. So it will be 2 hours, 18 minutes. 2 hours, 18 minutes. 2 hours, 18 minutes. The lorry was in motion. The lorry was in motion. 2 hours, 18 minutes. The lorry was in motion. So, in 2 hours, 18 minutes, as the time taken, and the speed of the car is equal to 80 kilometers per hour. Can you be able to find the distance? Distance is speed times time. So what is your distance? It is your speed 80 times your time. 2 hours, 18 minutes is the same as 18 over 60. So distance will be 80 times 60 times 2, 120. 120 plus 18 will be 138 over 60. 138 over 60. We will cancel that 0 with 0. By 2, 3. By 2, 4. By 3, 1. By 3 times 4, 12. Minus 1, 18. 3 times 6, 18. So our distance will be 4 multiplied by 46. And our distance will be equal to, what is 4 times 46? 46 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 6 is 18. 4 times 4 is 16. Plus 2 will be equal to 18. So our distance will be equal to 184 kilometers. You can confirm that. You can confirm that. Confirm that. Can try and confirm that, ili kama iko na makosa tunafanya ingine. Kwani iko nini? Saying 160. 160. Tumepata 184. We'll check that one out. But 184, it's saying 160. That's a very big gap. That's a very big gap. Thank you for correction. I didn't know I made a mistake. Naona shida inaenda hivyo, inaleta shida kwa nini? Let's do another one. That one mta correct, kama kuna shida nitairudia tena. Thank you for correction, Master Hill. Thank you. Nashindwa sikuwa naelewa nini, what is happening, and I don't have my calculator in the meantime. I don't have my calculator in the meantime, but all will be well. I'm trusting in your calculations. I'm trusting in your working. I don't have my calculator in the meantime. Oh, I see where I've made a mistake. It should have been 27/15, not 28/15. Thank you for correcting. Thank you for correcting. Let's do another question. 2016, paper 1, number 6. A bus traveling at an average speed of 63 kilometers per hour left a station at 8:15 a.m. A car later left the same station. A car later left the same station at 9 a.m. and caught up with the bus at 10:45 a.m. At 10:45 a.m. Find the average speed of the car. Find the average speed of the car. 3 marks. Find the average speed of the car. Thank you for that correction. Find the average speed. So ina tunaambiwa a bus is traveling at an average speed of 63 kilometers per hour. A bus traveling at an average speed of 63 kilometers per hour left a station at 8:15 a.m. So it left a station at 8:15 a.m. Inaenda hivyo. A car left the same station. So we have a bus, and this bus is moving towards that direction, and it is traveling at a speed of 63 kilometers per hour at 8:15. Departure time is 8:15 a.m. Then tunaambiwa a car left the same station. A car left the same station at 9 a.m. So a car left departure time 9 a.m. and caught up with the bus at 10:45. They met. So car and bus hapo ndipo zilipatana at 10:45. At 10:45 a.m. The question is asking, find the average speed of the car. 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 So tutafuta hapa. So this is what we are going to do. But these bodies are moving towards the same direction. The bodies are moving towards the same direction. So what happens is that the bus started the journey at 8:15. The car started the journey at 9 a.m. So unafaa kujiuliza, for the 45 minutes from 8:15 to 9 a.m, definitely that is 45 minutes. For 45 minutes, how far had the bus gone? For 45 minutes, how far had the bus gone? The speed of the bus is 63 kilometers per hour. The time taken before the car departed is 45 minutes. 45 minutes. So we now need to find the distance, which is speed times time. Speed times time. So our distance is, what is our speed? Our speed is 63 multiplied by our time is 45 over 60. 45 divided by 60 is the same as 3 over 4. 3 over 4. 3 over 4. So what do you get as your 63 times 3 over 4? Utapata nini? Nifanyie hiyo na calculator. What is 63 times 3 over 4? What is 63 times 3 over 4? Nifanyie hiyo 47.25. Thank you. So it will be 47.25 kilometers. So that is the distance covered by the bus. That is the distance covered by the bus. So ni kama mpaka hapo. (47.25 kilometers). So by the time the car is starting at 9 a.m, the bus is here at 9 a.m. But tunaambiwa zili meet at 10:45. Zili meet at 10:45. So what are we going to do here? Tutachukua 10:45 minus 9 a.m. juu ndivyo kaa ilianza. So itakuwa 10:45 minus 9 a.m. You are going to get 5 for 1 hour 45 minutes. So after the car started its journey, it took 1 hour 45 minutes to catch up with the bus. And 1 hour 45 minutes is the same as 1 1 1/4 hour. That is the time taken. 1 1/4 hours. Then we are going to determine the relative speed. What is the we don't have the speed of the car. So the speed of the car will be, we can say 8 kilometers per hour. 8 kilometers per hour. And remember, if the car caught up with the bus, it means the car is traveling at a higher speed than the bus. So it means that for us to get relative speed, it is going to be the speed of the car 8 minus the speed of the bus, which is 63. So that will be what we call the relative speed. So you see, if you check clearly, we already have the relative speed. What we don't have is the distance covered between here and here, from 10:45 to this. So we can be able to find that distance. Distance is equals to speed times time. So the distance will be equal to the speed of the bus, which is from here to here, the speed of the bus is 63, multiplied by the time taken from 9 to 10:45 is 7/4. 7/4. So what do you get as your distance? What is 63 times 7/4? What is 63 times 7/4? It will be 11.25 kilometers. It will be 11.25 kilometers. 11.25 kilometers. So this distance here will be 11.25 kilometers. So we now have the relative speed, which is 8 minus 63 kilometers per hour. We now have the relative distance, the distance in between, because hii ni basi iko hapa. No, the distance in between is not, yeah, is not this one, it is this one, because hii imeanza na hii imeanza. So it is 9 a.m. It is 47.25. Relative distance is 47.25 kilometers. Now we already have the relative time. The time after how long did they meet? The relative time is 1 3/4. 1 3/4 hours. So tuko na hizi tatu. So tunaweza kutafuta nini? Our speed. So tutakuja tutuseme relative time is equals to relative distance over relative speed. Relative time ni 4/7/4 is equals to our relative distance is 8 minus 63 over our relative time is distance over speed, 47.25 divided by speed, 8 minus 63. So you cross multiply. It will be 7 into bracket 8 minus 63 is equals to 4 into bracket 47.25. 47.25. So 7 times 8 is 7 8 minus 63 times 7. 3 times 7 is 21. 6 times 7 is 42, 43, 44. It will be 441 is equal to 47.25 times 4. What is 47.25 times 4? What is 47.25 times 4? What is 47.25 times 4? (47.25 times 4). $189. Thank you. $189. You've said 189, yes. So itakuwa 189. Then take this to the other side. Itakuwa 7/8 is 189 plus 441. So 7/8 will be, what is 441 plus 189? 441 plus 189 plus 189. 0, 1, 8, 12, 13, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. 630. It will be equal to 630. Then we divide both side by 7 by 7, and we will get our x as 630 divided by 7 is 90. Na swali lilikuwa linauliza find the average speed of the car, na tulisema let the speed of the car be x. So the speed of the car will be equal to 90 kilometers per hour. The speed of the car will be equal to 90 kilometers per hour. 90 kilometers per hour. 90 kilometers per hour. Iko sawa? So let's do another question. Let's do another example. Mulifanya swali la jana. Did you do the question that I gave you yesterday? Yes? Did you do the question? Did you do the question I left you to do yesterday? You have another question? Hamjibu. A bus left a petrol station at 9:20 a.m. and traveled at an average speed of 75 kilometers per hour to a town N at 9:40 a.m., a taxi traveled at an average speed. A taxi traveled at an average speed of 95 kilometers per hour a taxi traveling at an average speed of 95 kilometers per hour left the same petrol station and followed the route of the bus Determine the distance from the petrol station covered by the taxi at the time it caught up with the bus. Three marks. Write down that question. Hamjanijibu. Did you do the question that I gave you yesterday? Were you able to do that question? So let us do that one. The question reads, a bus left a petrol station at 9:20 a.m. and traveled at an average speed of 75 kilometers per hour to a town N. So we have petrol station and we have town N. So the bus left the station at 9:20 a.m. at an average speed of 75 kilometers per hour. Then at 9:40, a taxi traveled at an average speed of 95 kilometers per hour. 95 kilometers per hour. So the question is asking, left the same station and followed the same route as the bus. Both of them are following the same route. Determine the distance from the petrol station covered by the taxi at the time it caught up with the bus. So mahali zote mbili zilipatana, taxi and bus. We are supposed to calculate this distance from the petrol station. That is the distance we are supposed to calculate. Therefore, when you have such, unafaa unajiuliza, basi ilitoka 9:20, taxi ilitoka 9:40. Kwa hivyo before taxi itoke, basi ilikuwa imeenda 20 minutes. 9:20 to 9:40 is 20 minutes. So unafaa ukuje ujiulize, with respect to bus, if the speed of the bus is 75 kilometers per hour, na ilikuwa ishatembea for time taken, ilikuwa ishatembea for how many minutes? 20 minutes. 20 minutes, if you can do a quick maths, is the same as a third of an hour. A third of an hour. So we can be able to determine the distance of the bus, which is speed times time, before the taxi started the journey. So the distance will be equal to, the speed is 75 times the time taken is a third. So 75 times a third is equal to 25 kilometers. This simply means at 9:40 here a.m. the bus was here and it had covered 25 kilometers. Ilikuwa isha cover 25 kilometers. Kama ilikuwa imecover 25 kilometers, ni kumaanisha the distance between the bus and the car and the taxi, hapo katikati, the relative distance, we call it relative distance because it is the distance in between the two bodies at the same time. At 9:40 here, at 9:40 here. It is from 0 to 25, it is 25 kilometers. Then tunaweza pata relative speed. Hizi zote mbili zinaenda towards the same direction. And if they are moving towards the same direction, our relative speed will be 95 minus 75. 95 minus 75. So our relative speed will be equal to 95 minus 75 is equal to 20 kilometers per hour. 20 kilometers per hour. Therefore, we can be able to get the relative time. And the relative time we said is after how long did they meet? After how long did they meet? After how long did they meet? So relative time itakuwa ni? Itakuwa distance over speed. So our relative distance is 25 over our relative speed is 20. So what is 25 divided by 20? What is 25 divided by 20? It is 1 1/4. So it will be, relative time will be 1 1/4 of an hour, which is 1 1/4 of an hour. So kumaanisha zilipatana after 1 1/4 hour kutoka hapa. Na swali linauliza tutafute the distance from the petrol mpaka mahali zilipatana. Kwa hivyo tunaweza kuja tutumie hii time. Tunaweza chukua time taken. Hii time ni ya basi kutoka hapa mpaka hapa, lakini hii time ni ya taxi kutoka mwanzo mpaka hapa juu taxi haijaenda. Taxi haijaenda. So tunaweza chukua hiyo na tuchukue speed ya taxi. Speed ya taxi ni nini? Ni 95 kilometers per hour. Sasa tutafute distance kutoka hapa mpaka hapa. How do we find distance? Speed times time. So our distance will be, what is our speed? 95. What is our time? 1.25 times 95. 1 times 4, 4 plus 1, 5. So itakuwa 5/4. So you will get your distances. What is 95 times 5/4? What is 95 times 5/4? 95 times 5/4. What is 95 times 5/4? What is 95 times 5/4? Yes, 118.75. 118.75 kilometers. 118.7 kilometers. So we'll come to the end of our session. Because I want the remaining minutes, I want to share some questions with you on linear motion. So did you manage to do yesterday's question? Mulifanya swali la jana? I had out some questions with you. Attempt those questions. And if this is your first time being on this channel, and you are in need of our services, dial +2547420900825, Top Grade Academy, where we turn confusion into confidence. Are you a student? Are you a private student who desires to sit for the KCSE coming 2026 and coming 2027? This is high time. Grab this opportunity. Book your vacancy now so that we are going to learn.